Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back. Now, in today's video, we are going to talk about Venus retrograde. And no, we are not going into the nitty-gritty when it comes to what Venus retrograde is and all of that, because I've done multiple posts on that. So you can find that in the post section. I think it used to be the community section, now it's the post section. So you can find it there if you're interested. Very extensive posts. You can also find it on my blog. In this video, we are going to talk about what Venus retrograde means for your sign, your rising sign in particular. Now, Venus is going to be in retrograde for the next 40 years. Did I just say 40 years? Imagine Venus retrograde for 40 years. I don't know if I could handle that. No, for the next 40 days. So it started yesterday on the 1st of March. Well, depending on when you watch this video. For me, yesterday was the 1st of March. And it will end on the 12th of April. It will retrograde through 2 signs in your chart. So it starts in Aries, 10 degrees of Aries, retrograding back into Pisces. And these 2 areas that cover Aries and Pisces in your chart will undergo a Venus check. Right? Venus will go through these areas and look at them from the perspective of the feminine principle, but also the principle of worth and value. What are my values in this area? What do I value? Do I actually value what I think I value? So there is a review process, a realignment, a readjustment, maybe also a reinvention. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the first 6 signs. So from Aries to Virgo, Libra to Pisces. We will talk about it on Tuesday because otherwise this video is going to get too long. But without further ado, let's dive right in. Let's start with Aries Rising. For you, this retrograde is going to occur in the 1st house and the 12th house. Now, the 1st house is all about you, your physical presence, your way of looking into the world, but also how others perceive you when they first meet you, right? It's not your aura per se, because your aura entails all your energies, but it's the part of your aura that hits first, so to speak. And when Venus retrogrades in this area, she's going to look at the body, right? She's first of all going to look at the body and it's like, am I healthy? Am I feeling healthy? Am I vital? Am I feeling good in my body? Do I need to change something? Do I want to change something? What is bothering me? And I'm not saying you should do plastic surgery now, okay? Like, I'm not talking about you not liking your nose, even though this may come up, because Venus in the 1st house is going to intensify also your insecurities in this area. But this is all for your good, because you are asked to look at those insecurities and see where they stem from, where do they come from? And how can you realign them? Is there another way of looking at things? Could you actually look at your nose and think, oh my God, I'm so special? And in a good way, in a pleasant way, because oftentimes the things we don't like about ourselves, we've been practicing them, right? We've been practicing not liking these things for a long time. And yes, this can all relate obviously to how society looks at beauty and all of that. But often it goes deeper, right? That insecurity goes much deeper. And you're asked to look at your insecurities here. Also, you're asked to look at your outlook in life. Where are you going? And are you going there with confidence? Venus is going to help you reevaluate your approach to life. And then in the 12th house, Venus is going to look at, well, your spiritual approach to life, your spirituality, your soul essence. That part of you that we call the divine, that part of you that is never going to leave you. Your 12th house holds the key to understanding what is really deeply within you. What is truly the thing you want? Understanding your soul essence on a deeper level is what we find in the 12th house. So if we have Leo there, right, it will be different than if we have Pisces there, right? It's a different understanding of life. It's a different understanding of what I came here to do, how I came here to live, what I want to experience. And diving into that understanding is a big part of living life. And often we only get there later in life, right? Because it takes wisdom to get there. But now with Venus retrograde there, Venus is asking you to reevaluate your understanding of spirituality, reevaluate how you move forward from that intuitive knowing, that intuitive place, that knower inside of you. And that might take you to sit back and maybe take yourself out of society, take yourself out of your current surrounding, go on a retreat. And if it's just for a weekend, right? It doesn't have to be 40 days of retreat, but maybe you want to go spend some time on your own and look inside. Now, Taurus Rising. For you, this retrograde is happening in the 12th and the 11th house. So like I just said, for Aries Rising, you are asked to look at your spirituality, your connection to your spiritual self, your connection to the divine, your connection to God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, and understand if you are actually living from that place, or if you are living from a place of conditioning, what others told you is right. And I'm not saying what others told you is wrong, right? I'm not saying that. We got to look at this with discernment, right? It's not when I'm right, they are wrong, and when they are right, I am wrong. No, it's, there's truth in everything. The question is, what is your truth and what do you want to live? What do you want to bring forth? I said just now for Aries Rising, the 12th house tells you a lot about your soul family, right? Your soul essence, what your soul came here to experience. With Aries in this area, my loves, you came here to make a dent, right? To push forward, to show up. You didn't come here to hide. Your soul wants to be seen. So that is what Venus might ask you to look at. Are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Where are you hiding in your life? Then in the 11th house, we're talking about the bigger picture in terms of your friends, your family, not your family, your friends, your friendship circle, your collective, and obviously your family might be part of your collective. They might not be, but your collective circle, but also your hopes and dreams for the future, your aspiration, your bigger aspirations for life. Are you following those? Are you connected to them even? There is a reevaluation of this area. Also maybe a reevaluation of your friendship circle. You might not be aligned fully with your friendship circle anymore, or maybe not with all of them. Maybe there will be a change underway. Maybe there are a few friends where you're like, well, we're not going into the same, we're not going to the same place, we're not going to the same direction. So this is something to look at in the next 40 days. Then Gemini Rising, for you, we're looking at the 11th and the 10th house. In the 11th house, we're looking at your friendship circle, your community, your understanding of community, but also your aspirations, your bigger aspirations for life, which includes your hopes and dreams. Are you following them? Are you aligned with them? Or are you trying to push them away and saying, just mental chatter there? No. Are you connected to that understanding within you, your dreams, what you want to build? And not what you want to build. We get to the 10th house, that not what you want to build in terms of your accomplishments, right? Accomplishments and aspirations are not the same thing. They can align, but they are not the same thing. So we're talking about aspirations. Idealism is part of the 11th house as well. What are your ideals? And again, are you taking them seriously? Are you taking your aspirations seriously? Are you taking your hopes and dreams seriously? Are you taking your friends seriously? Do you want to still be around them? Do you need to align with a new friendship group? Again, you don't have to toss out all your friends. That's not what I'm talking about. But maybe you need some new people in your circle. You need to align yourself with new people that are aligned with your hopes and dreams as well. Now let's get to the 10th house. The 10th house, the house of accomplishments, house of purpose, your purpose work in this world, right? Where you climb the ladder, you climb the mountain, where you get to the top of the mountain. Now, what is the top of the mountain? What mountain are you climbing? Are you climbing your mountain, or are you climbing someone else's mountain? This is also something Venus will or might ask herself, right? The Venus within you, reevaluating what the mountain you're climbing, and why are you climbing that mountain? Is that your mountain? Do you want to climb that mountain? So there might be reevaluation in your workplace as well. You know, am I aligned with what I'm doing? Do I want to do that? Is this purposeful? Do I have meaning here? Is this meaningful to me? Now, Cancer Rising. For you, we're talking about the 10th house and the 9th house. Like I just said, for Gemini Rising, you're looking at your mountain, the mountain you're climbing. And you're asked to check within if this is truly your mountain. Are you climbing your mountain? Are you aligned with the mountain you're climbing? And when we look at it from the perspective of your work, you're most likely going to ask yourself if you are following your dharma, your purpose. Is this your purpose? Are you aligned with what you're doing? Is it purposeful? Is it meaningful to you? The 10th house is a very self-focused kind of area. It doesn't ask, is this meaningful to others? Yes, we want to give back, but that is more part of the 11th house, right? That the higher aspiration of like, I fulfill my purpose and now I give from my overflow. I give from a full cup. In the 11th house, I do that. But in the 10th house, I fill the cup. So are you filling your cup right now? Are you filling your cup? We are also looking here, right? Are you filling that cup? Is this coming out of you? Is it truly you, or is it just a mental exercise? I'm not saying not to use your intellect or your mind. Of course, always take your mind with you. But also look at it with discernment. Are you just acting from here? Or is this connected? Now we are getting to the 9th house. In the 9th house, we are looking at the bigger vision for life and the beliefs that are connected to that vision. Religion is also a part of this area, and higher learning, traveling, expanding the mind. So what might come up for you in the next 40 days is that you might wonder if you want to go back to school. If you want to pursue higher education, maybe you want to go traveling, maybe you want to explore the world, to feed yourself with new knowledge, experiencing new things. And then you might reevaluate your beliefs, your belief system. And I'm not saying all your beliefs, every belief you have, but some of your beliefs might come into question. And you're like, is this really me? Do I believe this? Or did I just take this belief on? Did I borrow it from someone else? Is this my belief? Is this truly my belief? And why am I believing this? This can relate to religion as well, right? Where you ponder how connected you are to the religion you're in. Or maybe you are not belonging to a religion. Maybe that's something that is interesting for you now. Maybe you're more interested in religion. You might also be more interested in politics, or the opposite. If you've always been into politics, following everything, now you're like, just, get me away from this. Like, I just need to step back and check in and see what is actually truly mine, what's actually truly for me. Leo Rising. Now for you, my lovely Leos, we are talking about the 9th house and the 8th house. In the 9th house, you are going to look at your beliefs, your belief system. What do you believe? Traveling might be a big one for you as well. I have a friend, that is a Leo rising. And on the day, so yesterday, on the day of the start of the Venus retrograde, he jumped on a plane and went far away, right? Long distance travel is part of the 9th house. And he went with a one-way ticket. He's like, I don't know when I'm coming back. I'm sure I'm coming back, but I don't know when. I'm off. And he went somewhere where he hasn't been in a very long time. It's also not a place that he has visited frequently. So it's very interesting. You know, I was like, yeah, you're very aligned with this beautiful retrograde. This is also the bigger vision for life, the 9th house, and the beliefs that are connected to that vision. And you might question some of those beliefs. You might reevaluate those. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but higher learning is part of this too. So maybe you want to go back to university, you want to study something. But again, the learning can also come through going on an adventure like my friend. Traveling, long distance, far away. Now the 8th house, that's where we do the deeper work, right? We're going down the rabbit hole. That comes after. So maybe at first you realize, well, I'm not really aligned with whatever I believed anymore. And then now I just have to take myself out a little bit, you know, take myself offline. And maybe that means going to a remote place. And then, and I'm aware that not everyone has the luxury to just take off now, right? I'm fully aware of that. But maybe still, even if you can't go away, you know, maybe you can still take yourself out of society, go offline more, spend more time on your own. And that will then help you also go deeper, right? In the 8th house, we do the shadow work, we do the inner child work, but we also are going to be confronted with our value system, our understanding of worth, and that might come through our partner if we have one, right? If we have a partner, that partner might trigger us immensely in the coming month. That is not because your partner all of a sudden got even more annoying, but it is just you looking in the mirror and seeing parts of you that you might not be aligned with, that you might have suppressed, put away, you know, under the box, in the dark room, under the bed, all that stuff that's in the black box. This is an opportunity for you to work through that stuff, dissolve it, release it, realign it. This can also come through money stuff. So there might be you know, you might have to pay certain things that you didn't see coming, that you didn't expect, that you just really don't want to pay, right? Money, you might be confronted with money issues. And this could come, again, through a bill that wasn't expected, maybe some taxes, maybe some taxes are resolved too, right? This is not only negative. A step into your abundance, right? That is, Venus is abundance, but Venus in retrograde is looking at all the insecurity related to abundance. Now, Virgo and Virgo rising. For you, this retrograde is going to occur is occurring, I should say, because we're already in it, in the 8th house and the 7th house. Your theme is very clear. Your theme, your all over theme is relationships in this retrograde, right? Relationship, relating. And when I say relationship, I don't just mean relationship to another person, but also relating to things, money. Money is going to be a big topic. Abundance, maybe I should just call it abundance. But in the real world, in the world we live in, this abundance translates into money. So money things might show up for you. Money things meaning maybe a bill is showing up that you don't want to pay. You don't like it. You're like, why is this happening now? Again, it is happening so you can look at your relationship with abundance. What's your relationship with abundance? Do you feel fully abundant, or do you just feel a little abundant and you're like, yeah, okay, money is here for that, but that, no. Can I find abundance within me where I can say, okay, the universe is always looking out for me. I'm always taken care of. I am an abundant being. That's how I came into this world. And everything else, right? Living in the Saturnian world is everything else, is just an experience. It is just part of the experience of being a human being. That trust, can you find that trust within you, right? In the 8th house, we're going so deep. We got to go deeper, and there's always another layer in order to get to that full abundance, that full abundant worth within us. That full understanding of, I am an abundant being, period, the end, right? There is no other sentence after that. I am an abundant being. And yes, I have a human experience, and that comes with this and this and that, whatever. But I'm still an abundant being, right? I can always fall back onto that. And I understand this is really difficult, especially if you've been socialized in a world that tells you there's never enough. It's never enough. You know, only the upper echelon, the 1%, they have all the money. But me, there's never enough. I have to work hard for it, right? This is the mindset of most people. And I'm not judging that, right? There's no judgment here. Like it just is. But can you find that abundance within you? Your connection to the infinite abundance, right? In the 8th house, we do the shadow work, we do the inner child work, but we also are going to be confronted with our value system, our understanding of worth, and that might come through our partner if we have one, right? If we have a partner, that partner might trigger us immensely in the coming month. That is not because your partner all of a sudden got even more annoying, but it is just you looking in the mirror and seeing parts of you that you might not be aligned with, that you might have suppressed, put away, you know, under the box, in the dark room, under the bed, all that stuff that's in the black box. Then we get to the 7th house. Now we are working on the relating part, right? First of all, what's your relationship with self? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel worthy of having a relationship that gives you everything you desire? Or do you already come in with like, well, you know, I can have this and this and that, but you know, I can't ask for everything. That would be too much. No one gets that. No one gets everything. Says who? This is your work now in this. That's why I love this for Virgo risings, this Venus retrograde, because you really get to work through your relationship with relationships, right? How do you relate? Do you trust that you're worthy of having the relationship you want, however that may look like? So throughout this month, things might come up in relationship with other people, one-on-one relationships that you do not like, where you get really frustrated. You're like, oh no, this again, this man shows up again, because this is something that most people will experience on one level or another, right? An ex showing back up. Someone from our past showing back up, and we're asked to reevaluate if we want to let them back in. Are we still aligned with them, with their values? Are we aligned? Like, this is such an important time to really look at our values and the other person's value, and are we aligned? Can we find alignment? This is deep work, deep relationship work that you will do this month. And it will also show you where you're at now, where you're at in your life, in relationships. Are you accepting the unacceptable? Or do you have boundaries? Do you have standards? What are your standards? What are your boundaries? How far do you let someone in? And I'm not saying you should block out everyone. No. Be connected, understand your values. And based on that, who do you want to give your Venusian beauty? And I'm not just talking outer beauty, I'm talking inner beauty. Who is going to be allowed in all ways? Who is going to be allowed in to your life? So really standards, boundaries, and yes, values. First of all, look at what your values are in relationship. Do your relationships reflect your values? If not, then you know you're not connected to those values properly, right? You're not really connected. You're not trusting. You're not trusting that you can have the things you want. You're not knowing it. You're not knowing it deep within you. You're doubting it. So where are those doubts? Where do those doubts come from? Inner child work is going to be a big part here. So, I mean, I could go on forever, but I think you're getting the idea. In the next video, we're going to talk about the next 6 signs, and this video will come out on Tuesday, so stay tuned, and I'll talk to you in the next video.